From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
Cascade Paint & Supply is Reading's oldest family-owned paint store, established in 1953. We are the largest Dunn-Edwards dealer in the nation, and most of our products are made in the U.S. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff are ready to answer your questions and help you today.
Not a bad day out there today, and not a bad weekend in store for us either. We'll get to that in a second. Do want to remind you that there is a free Weather NorCal app. Some of you may be new to discovering Weather NorCal. More and more of you will be doing that. I hope this kind of becomes this chain reaction where everyone discovers Weather NorCal, because I think many people are going to discover that this is a great resource for weather information. Of course, you can get updates throughout the day, 3 updates daily, Monday through Friday, and of course the weekends as well with meteorologist Brian Wilson. And the app is free on your Android and your Apple iPhone. Just go to your app store for either one and search for Weather NorCal, and then you can download the app for free. And everything's there. The neighborhood forecast, the video updates, even the live streaming channel is available from your phone and from the app. All right, so here's the deal. We're going into the weekend. Many of us may have plans, outdoor plans in particular, so you want to know if it's going to be wet or dry. Well, most of us will actually be dry through the day, even on Sunday. It's Sunday night into Monday when most of us see that rain. Now, there's going to be a little change. Of course, the coast, for example, I think you'll be looking at rain late in the day, Sunday in particular. But there you can see, of course, snow levels too are going to be high. Mainly above 6,000 feet. It could get a little bit locally lower than that in some cases, but overall 6,000 feet and higher. We take a look at your forecast for tonight and into tomorrow morning. It's going to be dry. It's going to be more of the same, really. Take the temperatures you saw last night, plug them in here for tonight, and that's what you got pretty much across the board. Take the daytime highs you saw today, plug them in for tomorrow, and that's pretty much been the case here for everyone as well. So again, not much change going on here. Now, we do have the clouds that we've seen here today. This is the swirling area of low pressure that has been developing, getting stronger and gaining strength. Now, what we're seeing here, first of all, we're seeing some cold air from the Gulf of Alaska kind of get caught up in that upper level flow. So you can kind of see that colder air is kind of getting wrapped up within there. However, that being said, that colder air is moderating. You kind of see how these speckled clouds are here, and then we're seeing less and less of those speckled clouds here. That's because it's getting entrenched within that warmer air, and not to mention that warm, moist air. Now, typically, storms that come from the south and west do have a lot more moisture to work with, and that's what we're going to be dealing with here as that storm passes through. But it's going to take a while before it gets here. It's probably not going to be until late Sunday and into Monday before the bulk of the rain moves in. Of course, for Saturday, as I mentioned, we're looking at dry conditions here. But look at Sunday. Sunday, I think we could see some showers, especially for southern Humboldt County in the morning. Now, you'll notice here that we're beginning to see it now a little bit into Trinity County. So that is going to be kind of the borderline. All you have to do is shift this storm a little bit more to the west, and now it's dry for Trinity County. So for now, I'm going to keep Trinity County dry for your Sunday. But that may change. Be sure to watch meteorologist Brian Wilson over the weekend. He'll keep you updated here for Trinity County. Here's noon on Sunday. You see how we're seeing some scattered showers? But everyone basically east of Trinity County is looking at dry conditions. Now we go into your Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. It actually dries out a bit. So the organized part of the storm isn't here yet. We're just seeing these disturbances rotate around that area of low pressure and bringing some showers to the western portions of the area, in particular Del Norte and Humboldt counties through the day on Sunday. Now by Sunday night, now it's beginning to push eastward. Now you can see the more organized part of the storm by Sunday night is kind of hitting the coast, and we're just seeing some scattered showers developing for the valley, but still dry off to the east Sunday night. Now, as we take you through the day on Monday, now the rain's pushing through. You see the blue, that's the snow, but we're not seeing a lot of the blue on the map, indicating the higher snow levels associated with this storm on Monday. How about Tuesday? Well, same situation. We got the rain pushing through, but not a lot of snow on the map here, indicating snow levels fairly high. Now we take into Wednesday, you can see the storm kind of pushing to the south. But with the rotation around the area of low pressure, we get this wraparound moisture. So the low pressure is down to the south. The moisture associated with that low pressure system is doing a little something like this. So it's all kind of pushing northward. Now we're still seeing those high snow levels in the Sierra here, but there's that rain in the valley. Now we're seeing less chances for rain north into Siskiyou, Modoc County, and even into parts of the north coast as well. Now watch what happens. That all dives down to the south. Thursday, Friday, we dry things out. That moves out, and then our eyes are on this storm system right here. Now there's some indication that this could possibly bring us some rain and snow. And I mean by snow, I'm not talking about in the valley. I'm talking about some high elevation snow. But this is a storm system that could impact us around the Christmas time. But see, again, we're going way out. So timing and overall intensity is expected to change. But you got a clear area of low pressure right here, that cold front. This will probably gain some strength as it does move closer. So I'll have to watch that closely, but that's what I've got my eyes on as we do approach the Christmas season. All right, so here are your rainfall totals, and if you watched yesterday evening's forecast, I think you might find interesting that when we were looking at these numbers through Thursday, but there was no rain on Thursday, so really through Wednesday night, when we were looking at these numbers were almost double, if not right around double, where they are now. And if you recall yesterday, I was thinking, you know what, these numbers are way too high. Let's just chop them in half. And those are probably closer to the numbers that we would typically see. Well, that's about what's happened here. These numbers have chopped in half since about 24-hour rainfall total estimates were put out. Now, these still might be overdoing it. I'm thinking about 1.5 to 2.5 inches for the valley. Yeah, I mean, so we're kind of seeing that. This is on the high end here. We're seeing less rain as you head off to the north and east, and not to mention not as much rainfall as we would typically see along the coast. But the reason why the coast is not seeing more rainfall than everyone else is because these storms are mainly coming from the south and southwest. Number one, they're wetter storms typically, and number two, this is where most of the rain is going to be coming in. Now, when you have the storm system coming through, I think it was Tuesday, it's coming in from the north and west, right? So that is going to help to bring those totals up a little bit higher for the coast after Monday's storm system. But bottom line, some decent rain heading our way. Now, this is interesting, and I was talking about this a little bit earlier, but I want to show you a little bit more detail what I'm talking about. Take a look at this. As we look at December 21st through December 25th, here you can see above normal rainfall, especially in Southern California. I mean, this area of green means you have a very good chance of seeing above normal rainfall during this time frame. As you head northward, smaller chances of seeing above normal rainfall. And really where we are, we're kind of in that transition between the drier and wetter conditions. Now, what I find very interesting is this. During a typical El Nino, you usually have wetter than normal conditions to the south in Southern California and drier than normal conditions in the Pacific Northwest. And I've always said this, Northern California, where we are in that transition between the wetter than normal conditions and the drier than normal conditions. During strong and very strong El Nino events, typically we will see this shift north and we see wetter than normal conditions. However, when you have a moderate to a weak El Nino, we will typically either see conditions that are normal with the rainfall or shift this more to the south and we see drier than normal conditions. All right, so you get that? So this is what it typically would look like, honestly, when we're talking about an El Nino pattern. Now let me show what I'm talking about. This is a graphic to show you a typical El Nino pattern. Look at this. Warmer and drier than normal conditions off over the Pacific Northwest, and of course, making its way into the Midwest as well to the north. Meanwhile, wetter than normal conditions for Southern California. See this transition zone I was talking about? Whenever you look at any just generic map for El Nino, we will be within that dry slot, basically meaning it could go either way for us. But as I've mentioned, typically during strong and very strong El Ninos, we will see wetter than normal conditions. So it begs the question, what kind of El Nino are we dealing with here? And we are dealing with most likely a very strong El Nino, which would lead us to believe, based off of history, that Northern California will see wetter than normal conditions. Kind of interesting. I thought it'd be kind of interesting to kind of go into that a little bit more detail. And I wanted to show you too, of course, there are the warmer conditions, warmer than normal conditions expected to the north, and of course, not to mention down to the south as well. All right, so let's take a look at our wave heights. What we're seeing here, wave heights actually will be increasing through the day on Saturday, and not to mention as we go into your Sunday. That's because we have the approaching storm systems, and that tends to create higher wave heights. Your marine forecast for your Saturday, southeast winds at 5 to 10 knots, waves from the southwest at 2 feet at 8 seconds, and from the west at 6 feet at about 14 seconds. Still no advisories in the forecast here for today or tomorrow. Here's what it looks like tonight. Another cold night off to the east, temperatures 20s and even some 30s in the northern mountains, not to mention in in Trinity County, and pretty cold for the valley, upper 30s to around 40. Take you into your Saturday tomorrow, and yes, it's going to be another mild day. Mostly sunny skies, temperatures mid-60s, give or take for the valley. Could even see some 40s, maybe even some low 50s for some of the warmer spots in the eastern mountains, and not to mention Modoc County, Siskiyou County. For Trinity County, low 60s, mid 60s for the inland areas, and low 60s low to mid 60s that is here, out along the coast. Your 7-day outlook, and there it is. Dry through the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, Sunday, El Turris. Saturday, Sunday, Susanville. But Monday, everyone is seeing rain. Snow levels are high. I've got a chance for showers in there for Mount Shasta, a chance even for El Turris and Susanville, but most likely not much, and then completely dry by your Thursday and Friday. For the valley, dry through the weekend and mild. Low to mid 60s, no big changes with your temperatures. The temperatures will drop though by Monday. Rain, showers, not as much in the way of rainfall on Wednesday, and then it dries out by Thursday. And with the rain, by the way, cooler temperatures, and then temperatures back up at least into the low, if not possibly mid-60s by the middle to latter part of next week. There's your 7-day outlook for the North Coast. Showers on Sunday, even for places like the inland areas. As I mentioned, I'm keeping Weaverville and Trinity County in general dry for Sunday. Stay tuned. Meteorologist Brian Wilson will keep you updated on that. There's a chance we could see some rain, by the way, in Weaverville. Latest forecast models indicating that. Monday, though, everyone's seeing it. You've got snow level 6,000 feet. More rain on Tuesday. And then I think drier conditions are in store for us for the coast. Maybe a chance, though, for some of that wraparound moisture coming into Weaverville on Wednesday. And then we dry things out and even warm things up a little bit here by Thursday and Friday of next week.